purest frivolity.
I'm ready to prove. This is the most
I just like to go like me.
Hey, tell us, Dan. We can make it worse. We could.
No. He's alive, though. What is this, Reese? What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the stars of Coronation Street and your host, Eamon Holmes.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to a very special celebration. Would you believe Coronation Street is 35 years old, just like me, which makes it, all right, 36 next week, but which makes it the longest running and most successful television drama series ever. And we're here tonight to say happy birthday to the people who make it possible, and especially those faces we've grown to know and love over the years, the stars of the street. Hundreds of characters have passed over those famous cobbles in 3.5 decades, and would you believe only 23 of them were Ken Barlow's girlfriends? We've shared all their secrets for half a lifetime, and tonight 6 well-known faces who are all great fans of the street are here to be tested on just how much they do or indeed do not know. Not only that, but we'll be seeing some of the programme's stars proving their vocal talents are as impressive as their acting. But first, let's meet the teams. Captain number 1, Russell Grant. More than just a happy medium, Russell is Jack and Vera Duckworth's #1 fan. And with all tonight's stars in the ascendancy, well, he should know a lot more about the street's past and indeed its future than most. So, Russell, you're very welcome. Russell is joined by someone I've been dying to meet for ages, I have to say. I haven't seen you since 9 o'clock this morning.
I know.
The uncrowned queen of breakfast television, Lorraine Kelly. And, Lorraine, you have 2 ambitions.
I have. I would really, really like to slap Steve McDonald. He drives me mad. And those gnomes, I want to bury those gnomes in the garden. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Lorraine. And the 3rd member of Russell's team is not only an ex-member of the cast, but also a successful businessman and West End impresario, Bill Kenwright. So that's Russell's team. Now, their opponents tonight are led by the columnist and talk show host, vivacious Vanessa Feltz. Vanessa's confessed to us that when she was a student at Cambridge, she refused to watch The Street because apparently it wasn't intellectual enough, yes? Yes, but now she married a doctor and we do believe that she is better now, yes? Okay, good like that. Vanessa's joined by Les Dennis, a man who spent much of his life pretending to be a woman.
I don't really know about that, actually. I must say, Lorraine, I tell you now that Derek takes Arthur's disappearance very seriously.
No, I'm sorry.
I can't do it without the pearls. I miss them.
And making up Vanessa's team, the king of golden oldie radio, a man for whom the history of Coronation Street is just as important as the history of the Beatles, Tony Blackburn. Right, tonight's fun and games can also involve you at home because we're giving away genuine and absolutely unique pieces of street memorabilia. Phoning in with the right answer could make you the proud owner of a priceless piece of Coronation Street's history. So, to the game. I'm going to test the teams in some of the great scenes the street has given us. The first is for Russell's team, and it's from the very first episode of The Street. It was Tony Warren, of course, who created the show, and this brilliant piece of dialogue could only have been written by him.
I'm Mrs. Sharples.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
I'm a neighbour.
Oh.
You're a widow woman?
Well, yes.
I thought so. And the caretaker at the Dad Tidings Hall.
Oh, that's just across the street, isn't it?
What's your place of worship?
I don't really do much about it.
Oh, I know. C of E.
Oh, I wouldn't say I
Oh,
was
it's like my
anything, really.
sister's husband. You know, he was made head of the plumbing where they live, and it gave her ideas. She said, we're civic dignitaries now, we must head for church. Within a week, they were received, christened, and confirmed. Within a fortnight, she was sitting up all night, sewing surplices. I'll take a packet of baking powder. Where you being buried?
I don't know that I've given it much thought.
Oh, but you should. Think on you don't go to that crematorium down the road. While coffins rolling away, they play Moonlight and Roses. Oh, I spoke to the superintendent in particular. He said, Moonlight and Roses? That's not Moonlight and Roses, that's Andantina. I said, well, Andantina or no Andantina, I'm rolling away to Crimmen. For them fancy today's?
Yes.
I'll take half a dozen and no eclairs.
OK, Russell's team, 10 points for a correct answer, but if you don't know or get it wrong, I'll offer it to Vanessa's team for 5 points. Here we go. We all know Ina Sharples, but what was the name of the other character in that scene?
Florrie Lindley.
Well done, played by?
Betty Albert.
Well done, my friend. Full marks there. Right, Vanessa's team, here is your clip.
Please, please, Raquel. Don't kill off the little bit of hope I've got left.
Look, Carly, I've hurt you. And I regret that more than anything.
Please, Raquel.
And you're 10 times the bloke that Des Barnes will ever be, but I can't marry you.
Well, we can make it work, Diz. We could. We could.
No! I don't love you. I can't love you.
That scene showed Curly and Raquel the day after their engagement party. Now, their happy night was spoiled by Des Barnes. How?
He said, he actually came in and said, Raquel, marry me.
Yes, he proposed to Raquel. Yes, he also told her that Curly was not the right man.
That's
Tony,
right.
well done. Full points, 10 marks. Right. Another clip for Russell and his team.
She's pregnant. And it's your baby.
Yes. It came as a bit of a shock to me, too. I mean, at my age, you begin to wonder...
She's having your baby. My God, Ken, the arguments we had. I pleaded with you. The times I told you I wanted our baby and you didn't want to know.
Just a minute, Deirdre. Be fair. There was Tracy to think about.
Oh, there was always somebody else to think about. Usually you. You had your kids, I had Tracy, and I wanted ours. But oh
Look,
no.
Deirdre, calm down.
My God, Ken. You've done some things to kick me in the teeth in your time, but this beats a lot.
No, Deirdre.
I don't want to hear your explanations. I don't want to know. Just get out. Get out!
Deirdre was talking there about Ken's children from his marriage to his first wife, Val. One of those children was called Peter. What was the other one called?
Susan.
Correct. Susan for a bonus point. What happened to her?
She married...
Iggy, Johnny
she married
Mike
Baldwin.
Well done. I'll give you another 5 for that. Good
that's
scoring,
right.
guys. OK, Vanessa's team, take a look at this.
What can I get you, Mrs. Turner?
I don't want anything, thank you, Mrs. Walker. I received this letter this morning. I'd like to know what you've got to say about it.
Now, look here.
Never you mind. Wait a minute, Jack. I'd like to say 2 things about this letter, Mrs. Turner. In the first place, I wouldn't soil my hands writing such a thing. And in the second place, I'm downright disgusted that anyone should think I could. And while I'm talking, I'd like to say something else. I stood in this public house tonight, and I've heard my name linked with this letter not once but a dozen times. I've seen my own husband and my own barmaid try to keep the customers from telling me.
Now, listen, Annie,
No, no. I'll go on, Jack, please. I've been accused in public, and I've a right to defend myself in public. I did not write that letter, Mrs. Turner. And if you'll take a tip from me, you'll go back home and pull yourself together. And when you've done that, perhaps you'll have the decency to come back here and apologize.
Come on, Elsie, love.
Leave me alone. You've been behaving pretty funny lately, haven't you?
Hey, now, be careful.
Careful, careful. Whoever wrote me that wasn't careful. They didn't care what it did to me, did they? You're all the same, the lot of you.
Now listen carefully, team. The letter Annie was talking about there was written by the jealous fiancé of Elsie's first husband, Arnold Tanner. Elsie's third husband was Alan Howard, but who was husband number 2?
What a question. Stan.
No, Stan.
He was the window cleaner.
Steve Tanner. Steve Tanner.
Steve Tanner for 10 points. I'll give you 5 more if you can tell me the actor who played him.
Oh. He was American. He was Canadian.
He probably was. And I'll tell you what.
Steve something.
Actually, he was Paul Maxwell, and I'm not going to pass it over because he was probably acting there at the time.
That's
I think that's very fair. I think that's very, very fair. Here's your clip.
We share so much. I wonder that we don't share it all. Share our lives. Why don't we join together our interests in nuptial agreement?
Yes, it sounds an excellent plan to me. Desirable arrangement. Nuptial? Do I understand what you mean marriage, Miss Nugent?
Why not?
Miss Nugent, is it the vintage? Is it the hour?
Swindley, I'm serious. We could join together in holy matrimony.
We pastors and preachers fly from
Well,
the
we
thing we're
could
not equipped to
work
deal with.
together, side by side.
On the day of judgment, we stand alone.
Oh, but the years till then.
Meditation, Miss Nugent.
Mr. Swindley.
Please, good night, madam.
Right. Leonard Swindley and Emily Nugent both worked in Mr. Papagopoulos's shop. And you know the one I'm talking about. Can you name the shop, which is easier to say than his name?
Gamma Garments.
It was indeed. 10 marks. Well done. And here is the final clip of round 1 for Vanessa and Co.
Excuse me. I've run that flaming pub on my Todd for years.
Yes, and not made a penny from it. Well, have you? Unless you're keeping something from me.
Are you saying that I'm lying? Do you think I've got thousands of pounds
don't
stashed
talk
away? Is
daft.
that it? I only wish to God I had. You can see me statements if you want. What is this, Rita? What's going on?
Look, you're wanting me to put up thousands of pounds. I'm entitled to ask you why you haven't any savings if this pub of yours is such a wonderful business proposition.
Don't you come the high and mighty with me, lady. You'd not be stood there with a bulging bank balance if you hadn't flaming married it.
Yes?
Why don't you go...
Len left me a tatty little shop. But it was me who worked my guts out over there. Me that opened this place.
It was
and
Len's
built it
cash
up.
what got you started. But for him, you'd have been nowt but a clapped-out chorus girl.
Better than a clapped-out barmaid.
Talk about fair weather pals. I should have known better than turn to you.
Nobody pours thousands of pounds down the drain, no matter how good pals they are.
Pals! Pals! You don't know the meaning of the word.
I'm sorry.
But you won't change your mind.
No.
Then I'm the one that's sorry, cock. Sorry I ever asked.
Okay, team, what brought that row about? Who actually persuaded Rita not to invest in the Rovers? Gotta hurry, you guys.
Was it Emily?
It was not. I can pass it
it was-
over
it
for
was
5
Mavis.
points.
Mavis.
No, it wasn't either. Pass it over. Who was it?
Uncle Al.
It was indeed, and that gets you a very valuable 5 bonus points. Well done, Russell and the guys. And at the end of round 1, I have to say that gives you a 20-point lead. Russell's team lead 40-20. Now, of course, it's not just our panellists who wanted to celebrate 35 years at the top. Let's now hear a few words from an entertainment institution who actually has a career longer than the street. But just like the street, he was #1 as well in December 1960.
I really find it hard to say anything about Coronation Street because, in fact, it's all been said. And the amazing thing to me over the 35 years is that I've yet to read anything bad. I think it's because people find it hard to knock something that is genuinely brilliant. I think all of the actors have become truly accomplished. I personally find myself entirely in belief of all of you. I believe in all the characters, and you've given me, I mean, it seems like thousands of hours of entertainment, you know. And I would like to doff my hat, or whatever the phrase is, to those who write the script, because how does anybody get all those storylines that do eventually meet? I mean, I'm astounded, and as you all know, I've been a fan for 100 years, and I wish you 100 years more. And now let me tell you this, I do go on tour a lot. I do not miss you, though, because I have someone video it, and when I come back, sometimes there is a stack this big, and I love catching up. And my only request is, please, please let Raquel end happy.
Keep our fingers crossed for Raquel there. Well, actually, since she's first appeared on the street, Raquel has demonstrated what you might call a strong sense of her own personal style. Now here's your chance to own this fabulous frock as worn by Raquel on the show. Don't believe me? Well, here she is wearing it. Take a look at this. Here is your question based on that. Raquel has always aspired to being a model, but she used a different first name as a model. What was it? What was her modelling name? If you think you know that name, give us a ring on this number, 0891 770001, and you could be the winner of this unique garment. Your call will take less than a minute, and the winner will be selected at random from the correct answers. The lines, I should tell you, stay open until midnight tomorrow, and there'll be more memorabilia up for grabs later. Well, next, let's spend some moments wallowing in nostalgia. We've got just the person to help us do it, the newest landlady at the Rovers, Vera Duckworth, or as she is tonight, Miss Liz Dawn.
You must remember this, a kiss is just a kiss, a sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers kiss, they still say I love you, on that you can rely. No matter what the future brings, as time goes by. And love songs never out of date, hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman is man, and man must have his mate, on that you can rely. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
I buried mine over there. I remembered every word I'd ever said wrong to her on the day that they buried her. It's quite a list.
Ida Barlow, you've been drinking.
Wait, might be a client here. Pull on the tail.
Right.
Come in.
Have a good look. You call me a louse. What the hell do you think you are? You're nothing. You're just nothing.
Woman is man, a man must have his mate, on that you can rely. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Thank you there to Liz Dawn, and I think all a wee bit misty-eyed after that. A lot of memories there from the earlier days of the street, and indeed I now have 5 questions based on those memories for our team. So guys, it's fingers on the buzzers for this round. You can answer as a team, but you must buzz, and if you're wrong, I'll offer the question to the opposition. So good luck, and here is your first question. We saw Ken Barlow up on the factory roof, bravely trying to talk down one of the street's characters. What was her name? And that is Vanessa's team?
Christine Hargreaves.
Well, I'll give you that, Les. Christine Hargreaves was actually the actress. Christine Hardman was the character. Question 2. Ida Barlow had 2 sons. We all know Kenneth. What was the younger brother called? Vanessa's team?
David.
Correct. David Barlow, played by Alan Rothwell. We also saw Hilda in her role as a clairvoyant. What was her favourite method of telling the future? Vanessa's team?
Tea.
It was, reading the tea leaves. Yeah. Well done, Tony. The 4th question. We saw a scene from the stormy relationship between Len Fairclough and Elsie Tanner, played by the wonderful Pat Phoenix. There's a family connection between Pat and which prominent politician? And that's Russell's team?
Tony Booth.
Of course,
Tony Booth and
Shelley Blair.
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 Which means that the politician is?
Tony Blair.
Yes, Lorraine. The connection, Tony Blair, who was Pat's partner, Tony Booth, is the father of Sherry Blair, wife of Tony Blair, and Pat married Tony Booth, actually, very sadly, the day before she died. Here's our 5th and final question in this round. Which actress played Martha Longhurst, and that's Vanessa's team?
Lynn Carroll.
Absolutely right, and at the end of that round, that gives your team, Vanessa, a 10-point lead. Now, in addition to the Street's 18 million fans and loyal viewers in this country, the programme also transmits around the world. The good people of Wagga Wagga in New South Wales regularly sit down to watch Weatherfield's goings-on. So to reflect the truly international appeal of Coronation Street, we've asked a typical Aussie to say a few words on behalf of the millions of fans down under.
Oh, hello, possums. Yes, I don't need any introduction to all of you. But I've been asked by the people of Australia, I am an Australian incidentally, to add my words of congratulations to the millions that are flowing into the street. This is a marvellously exciting occasion, and particularly for some of my business interests, because as you probably know, it's my consortium that has put in the almost certainly successful bid for buying the Rover's Return and turning it into a magnificent multi-purpose casino and conference centre, retaining, of course, the facade and the Lancashire hot pot. Oh, I'm toying with the idea of renaming it the Watering Hole. But that's the future. Let's just for a minute talk about now. What an exciting anniversary. 35 wonderful, wonderful years. It's spooky, isn't it? Of course, 35 years is a twinkling of an eye to people like Sir Cliff Richard. But it's a long time to have been the diamond in the dunghill of British television. Well done, Coronation Street. I adore you all.
And she means that in a caring way, she really does. Well, before Dame Edna manages to get her hands on the Rovers, we have got another priceless piece of the Street's history to give away, because here is the original sign over the Rovers, which was actually replaced in 1985. In the studio here with me, one of the letters from that actual sign, yes, an original here, and we have got 6 of these to give away tonight. And if you want to win one, and let's face it, who wouldn't? You need to answer this question. Jack and Vera Duckworth recently took over the Rovers, but what was the name of Jack's brother whose death gave them the money to do it? If you think you know the answer, ring this number, 0891 7700 02, before midnight tomorrow. The question again, the name of Jack's brother whose death gave them the money to take over the Rovers. Well, don't go away, because there's plenty more music and memories from 35 years of the Street after this. Very welcome back to the Street Party. At the end of part 1, the scores were 50 points for Russell Grant's team, and he was trailing by 10 points to Vanessa Felt's team, who were on 60. We go to round 3, and we're going to test our team's knowledge of the relationships between the Street's characters. Now, take a look at this. Here we have the Weatherfield Wheel, we're going to call this, and it's got faces all over it to complete with phrases. What I want the teams to do is rearrange the faces so that they fit the phrases. So, for instance, if you thought that Alf Roberts, for instance, was Mike Baldwin, where is he? Mike Baldwin's stepfather, it probably would mean that your mind was gone, but what you would do is you would arrange it round so it all reads correctly. Simple, isn't it? It's one team member to play, but we'll allow a little bit of help, and Lorraine, it's you up first, and your friends on your team can give you lots of cheers and advice. The key to it all, Lorraine, is to find out who is the hub of this wheel. Who does it all revolve around? Right. I should tell you, you've got 1 minute on the clock, okay? Guys. And that minute begins now. Give her all the help she needs.
Okay. But we'll take Mike Baldwin off, and we'll put that there, and put that there,
and have child with Tracy.
We'll move Tracy. And she employed Tracy.
Maggie.
Daughter of
Annie.
Are you sure now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, do you think?
Defeated Al.
Defeated Al in the election.
Stepfather.
30 seconds, you're halfway there, Lorraine.
Worked with Alma. Married to... Oh,
okay.
You've done it.
Alma, married to... You're happy with that? With 20 seconds left on the clock. Okay, you go and sit down and we'll see what the way this story reads. Okay, let's see. Tracy was the core of this story, and you have Lorraine. Tracy, the daughter of Deirdre. Absolutely right, yes. Deirdre defeated Alf, at the council elections, yes. Alpha's stepfather to Gail because he's married to Audrey, who's Gail's mother. Yes, that's all okay. Gail works with Alma in the cafe, who's married to Mike, who had a child with Maggie, who employed Tracy in her flower shop. How did you do that? That's very good. Full points, Lorraine, and that rounds 35 points for your team. Well, follow that, Vanessa's team, and a man who should know his golden oldies, Tony Blackburn. Come out and face the music here, Tony. You're used to... We've got a new wheel. OK, we've got a new wheel.
Yep.
You've turned a few turntables in your time. Find the hub. That's the secret. 1 minute on the clock. Your time begins now. Where you go.
Lucille
Right.
Hewitt, Guardian of Lucille.
Lucille, by Gordon Clegg, who's the son of Betty Turpin, sister of Maggie Clegg.
Going well, going well.
Who ran the shop with Alma Barlow, who's the daughter of Hilda. Yes?
Aim and help him.
That one there.
That's it.
No, you've one more to go.
Stick it back on. Quick.
Right, is that it?
Yeah.
Time
Yes.
up. Right, no time in the clock. Well done, Tony. Sit down and let's see. Annie Walker, Guardian of Lucille, jilted by Gordon Clegg, and he's still wearing the same tie tonight, isn't he? Yes. Bill Kenwright, son of Betty, though the illegitimate son. Is that not right?
Don't talk about my mother like that.
Betty, of course, sister of Maggie Clegg, who ran the shop with Irma, who was the daughter of Hilda, who was employed as a cleaner by Annie. And we're back to where we started. Well done, team. So that makes the scores 95 to Vanessa and Cole, 85 to Russell. Well, that round showed us how important love and marriage has been to the street. So now let's hear from someone who's put more people together than anyone else. And over the years, believe me, she's seen a Laura episodes of the most famous street in the country.
Hello, I'm here in our blind date studio, and we're all dead chuffed to wish Coronation Street a very happy 35th birthday. 35 years. Gosh, that's a lot of shows. And you know, I've been a fan ever since the street started. I can actually remember that very first episode. That was when Florrie Lindley bought the corner shop, and Ken Barlow, would you believe, had just left college. And lovely dear Ina Sharples was knocking back her first milk stout in the Rovers. And now, 35 years on, Coronation Street is not just a soap. It is a way of life. And everybody here would like to wish everyone there, all the cast and crew, past and present, a very, very happy birthday. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Yes, congratulations. And here's to your 50th birthday. Cheers.
And a big thank you there to Scilla. Now, every element of Coronation Street has its place, from Hilda Ogden's curlers to Reg Holsworth's hairpiece. It's the little things that count, even if they only are a pair of leopard skin cushions. And what cushions these are! Remember these? Of course, they could only have belonged to one character in Coronation Street, the irrepressible Bette Gilroy. And there she is with her fake fur cushions. And if you can see yourself reclining in these, the actual ones you've seen in Bette's living room, then just answer this question. When Ina Sharples used to frequent the snug of the Rovers, she had two regular drinking cronies. What were their names? Dial 0891 77 0003. And remember, your call will take less than a minute. The winner will be selected at random from everyone who answers the question correctly. And by the end of tomorrow night, Bette's cushions could be yours. Right. Now, one of the most popular romances on the street has been between Alma and Mike. And here to celebrate this very special relationship, please welcome Johnny Briggs and Amanda Barrett.
Time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. Then afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid voice just a line to you. For me it's true, it never seemed so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the nights so blue. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I love you.
Well, you know I do.
We spend 5 minutes with the feet up relaxing, and I might. I said I just might pop up and scrub you back. Now don't be coy. You deserve it.
You pig!
Alma, I love you. I want to marry you. And I want you to be my wife.
And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I love you. 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 Come on, let's go to Rovers.
Thank you, Johnny and Amanda. Now, Mike and Alma have, like Frank Sinatra, lived and loved and done it their way. OK, teams, fingers on the buzzers. For this round 4, 5 questions about the lives and loves of Mike and Alma. The arch rivals Ken and Mike have both had romances with the same 3 women. And that's Russell's team.
Yeah,
Who are they?
Deirdre,
Maggie, and Alma.
Well done. Full marks. 10 points there. Question 2. We saw Mike and his 3rd wife, Jackie Ingram. How long did they live together as man and wife? And that's Russell's team?
A week.
Yeah.
It was a week. Well done. They split up when Jackie found Mike had used her company money to buy the lease in Alma's cafe. Question 3. Ken's relationship with Alma ended when he finished with her on New Year's Eve 1991. Vanessa?
I was going to say New Year's Eve, but you've already said that.
No, so I'll give the full question to Russell's team. OK, the relationship finished on New Year's Eve 1991. What did Alma confess to Ken that made him finish with her?
She still loved Mike, is it? That she didn't...
She had a ding-dong with
she still
Johnny
loved-
Briggs.
Yeah, she
had a ding-dong with Johnny Briggs.
She had a ding-dong with Johnny Briggs, right, on Christmas Day, and all Ken wanted was a pair of socks, so that was it. Question 4. In 1992, what shocking piece of information about Deirdre did Maggie Redmond pass on to Tracy Barlow, Russell's team?
That she had had an affair with Mike.
Well done, Lorraine, 10 points.
She had another ding-dong with Johnny Briggs.
Alma's maiden name was Halliwell. What was her first married... Yes, Russell?
Sedgwick.
It was, because Alma was married to Jim Sedgwick of the Jim's Cafe fame.
That's
so well
right.
done. And at the end of that round, hey, it's all turn around, is it not? Russell, Lorraine and Bill are leading 130 points to Vanessa's team of 95. Now, you don't just walk in off the street onto the street. Oh, no, like the French Foreign Legion, many of the stars have a very colourful past, and that's what this round is all about. We've got 4 extracts from the movies, and each film starred a member of the cast before they joined the street. Russell's team, have a look at this and see who you can spot.
For 1 penny, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Captain Fortescue representing of the infamous Dick Turpin on his famous bully black vest.
Brian Mosley.
Brian Mosley, and the film was far from the madding crowd, so well done, full points on that one. Right, OK, Vanessa's team. Here's a member of the street cast at the age of 17 in the movie Kosh Boy. See if you recognise who it is.
Lord, don't worry me. I'm underage. Still, it was fun while it lasted.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh,
You'll lie low with us, see?
not a chance. I'm starving. Besides, me mum hates me being out late.
Listen, I'm the boss and I say you're staying.
Nothing doing, Walshy. If they're going to slap me in a corner tonight, I'm going in with a double helping of my mum's steak and kidney pud. You can hang around here if you want to. Me, I'm getting.
Any ideas?
Johnny Briggs. Briggs.
Johnny Briggs for 10 points. Well done. Russell and Co. This is a very easy one, but we couldn't resist playing it.
Oh, we know this one.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you everywhere.
Yeah. Did you recognise her with her clothes off?
Liz Dawn.
Amanda Barry.
Amanda Barry, 10 points for that. And finally for Vanessa's team, a piece of classic British cinema.
How could I forget? Love would bowl me over, or that when I fell, I should fall in clover. How was I to know that love could be walking down the street? Just in time to meet me.
The film was Let's Be Famous. It was made in 1939. She certainly went on to be that. Who was it?
Magnificent Betty.
It was Betty. Betty Driver plays Betty Williams and was Betty Turpin for years.
Just after that, she said, "Up, pot, Ken."
Well, I'll say what the scores are at this stage, and 115 to Vanessa's team, and way out there in the lead, it's Bill, Russell and Lorraine on 150. Oh, it's only the difference of a few questions. Join us after the break for more questions, more music and more memories from 35 years of Coronation Street. And believe me, like Fred the Butcher's pies, we'll be back.
Hello, from one Premier team to another. Congratulations, Coronation Street. You give us 35 seasons of brilliant performances. And we're hoping that the Weatherfield five-a-side ball brings us more luck than it brought them.
We're all united in wishing Coronation Street a happy birthday.
Heureuse anniversaire.
That's it, snap!
It's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Alex and the boys there. And of course, there is another team in this part of the country who are somewhat less well-known and less prolific. But enough about City. No, what I'm actually talking about is this lot. So what a collection. And if you'd like to win their specially autographed ball or just take it away from them for their own safety, then you just need to answer this question. When Weatherfield's football team took to the pitch, which two young female characters acted as their cheerleaders? If you know, ring this number, 0891 77 0004. Do that before midnight tomorrow, and television's most famous football could be yours. Right. Now it's time to put the team captains under the spotlight as we test them on their specialist street subjects. Russell, it's you first. Please, will you come down and join me? Thank you. Right now, Russell, what you have got to do is answer as many questions as you can about one of the street's best-loved characters. That is the one and only Annie Walker. You nervous?
Yes. Can I have one of Fred Elliott's pies to help me through?
You have 60 seconds on the clock, and that time begins now. Annie's son is called Billy. What's her daughter called?
Same as my mum, Joan.
Correct. When the street staged a pageant, Annie chose to appear as which queen?
Elizabeth I.
Correct. She passed her driving test in 1977. What make of car did she buy?
A big Rover 2000?
Correct, absolutely. Which character later reversed his bin lorry into Annie's Rover?
It can only be Eddie Yates.
It was indeed. For the first 2 years, Annie cleaned the Rovers herself. Who became her first ped cleaner?
Hilda Ogden?
Incorrect. Martha Longhurst. What was Annie's favourite tipple?
Sherry.
Correct. Or cherry brandy. What was Annie's maiden name?
Beaumont.
Absolutely. In 1969, Annie won the Newton and Ridley Most Popular Landlady Award. Her prize was a trip for two to Mallorca. Which unlikely companion did she end up taking?
Oh, either Ina or Elsie.
5 seconds. Ina Sharple's absolutely right. Which character who worked behind the Rovers bar was also her chauffeur?
Fred G.
Well done. Very good scoring indeed, Russell. And at the end of that round, Russell, you have scored 40 points for your team. Well, Vanessa, can you follow that as I ask you to take your place in the hot seat? Vanessa, your specialist subject is the one character who has remained on Coronation Street since that very first episode 35 years ago. It can only be Weatherfield's own Casanova, Ken Barlow, and he's here in the audience tonight, just to make you more nervous.
Sorry, Ken.
Right, 60 seconds on the clock for you. Here we go. Which actress played Elaine Perkins, the headmaster's daughter, was Ken's girlfriend in 1973?
Ab-Fab, Joanna Lumley.
Absolutely. One of the actors who played Ken's son, Peter, is Bill Roach's son in real life. What is his name?
Linus.
Correct. Ken's first wife, Val, died when she accidentally electrocuted herself with which household implement?
A faulty hairdryer.
That is true. What was the name of the council employee who leaked secrets to Ken and started an affair with him in 1989?
Wendy Crozier.
Right. Which of Ken's relatives was the original occupant of number 1 Coronation Street?
Albert Tatlock.
It was his uncle Albert Tatlock. At which school did Ken teach during the 1960s?
Bessie Street.
That is right. When the street celebrated the Queen's Silver Jubilee in 1977, which famous mountaineer did Ken dress up as? Mountaineer.
Sir Edmund Hillary.
That will do. Well done. In 1981, Ken bought a German car that Albert refused to travel in. What type?
Beetle.
Correct.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Which number house did Ken buy in 1995?
1.
That is right. And right. Well done to you. Very good scoring. And that means at the end of that round, the scores stand at 160 for Vanessa's team and 190 for Russell's team. Well, it's often been said that Coronation Street is run by the women, and one of the crowned queens of the street is here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome that award-winning actress, the wonderful Barbara Knox.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, my irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart goes tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you, but above all, I need my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama, do. My sweet, embraceable you.
You know, you're very therapeutic.
You're kidding. I have to find out what that means.
Alan, I need you. I can't go on with you. I've seen the future. It terrifies me.
Do take thee, Edward John Sullivan,
To be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
I love all the many charms about you, but above all, I need my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama, do. My sweet, embraceable you.
As she may only be the captain of the cabin, but certainly flame-haired Rita has sailed the seas of love, and long may she continue to do so. OK, teams, get your fingers back on those buzzers. This is the final quick-fire round on street trivia. The rules are simple and somewhat harsh. If you buzz, you answer on your own. 10 points for a correct answer, but be warned, 5 away. It's 5 away if you get it wrong, so think before you buzz. Here we go. 1 minute on the clock. Let's go. Which veteran street star drove a field canteen? Les?
Bill Waddington, Percy Sugden.
Correct. When Gail married Brian in 1979, who gave her away? Les?
Mike Baldwin.
Correct. What make of car did Vera win in a women's magazine competition? And that's Bill.
Vauxhall.
Correct, absolutely. This year, which character changed his name by deed poll? Russell?
Nicky Platt.
Yeah, who then became?
Tildesley again.
Correct. He was Tildesley Platt, back to Tildesley. Which street character has artistic leanings and wrote a novel called Song of a Scarlet Bill?
Ellie Mavis.
Correct. Well done. 30 seconds left. In the Nanny from Hell storyline, for which character did Carmel develop a fatal attraction? And that's Vanessa.
Martin.
Correct. In 1989, Stephen Andy McDonald drove a JCB through which street window? Bill.
The corner shop.
Correct. Who was the subject of a hate campaign by Dawn Brennan when she rejected his advances? Les.
Denise.
Correct. Denise Osborne. Steve and Vicky married on which island? Lorraine.
St. Lucia.
Aren't you lucky? Because that could have been 5 away. Well done. And I tell you, that means that we finish with the winning team, because Russell, Lorraine and Bill have scored 240 against Vanessa's team of 200. You tonight are the winners. And with that, as they would say in the Rovers, we will call time, ladies and gentlemen, please, on the quiz. But finally, there's one more memory we wanted to share with you, because besides all the wonderful performers on the street, there are a select handful who've passed through the Rovers' doors and barely had time for a swift half. See if you can recognise this young lad trying to stick one on Kevin Webster. The year is 1985.
What on earth do you think you're playing at? I'm on match point. Sorry, but there's going to be no more tennis till we sort this out. This is so boring. Can't you accept anything? Have you told him, Michelle?
Of course I have.
Right, go off. I beg your pardon. Go off, come on, I'm serious. He's going to take us. Buzz off, will you? Buzz off. Honestly, this is so childish. Yes? Michelle, tell him to clear off, will you?
Well, did you recognise who it was? Would you believe me if I told you it was Michael Ball? Well, it was. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Ball.
How are you? Get your hat.
Well, calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? Well, summer's here, the time is right. We're dancing in the street, they're dancing in Chicago, down in New Orleans.
the ball there. Thanks to Michael, thanks to you for watching, to our terrific teams for being such good sports tonight, but most of all to the people behind Coronation Street, all the writers, the crew, the production teams, and finally the stars, many of whom are here tonight. They've given us so much pleasure over the last 35 years, and hopefully a lot more over the next 35 years. From all of us here, good night and happy birthday. Bye.